Everybody, it's Natalie from Nats Numbers, and today we're going to talk about the 2 life path. So if this is you, derived from your birth date, then you are the archetype of what I call the Peacemaker. And so the mission that you have in this lifetime, the path that you are asked to walk, is to create a sense of union, peace, and harmony in relationships. Now I'm going to pull an analogy from cinema. In the Twilight series, each vampire has a superpower. And there's one vampire that's actually in the book, but not as much featured in the movies, and his name is Jasper. He is the perfect personification of your mission, of the Peacemaker. His superpower is being able to sense other people's emotions and to manipulate them. And so in the group and in the tribe, if there's conflict, if there's friction, if there's war that arises, he will actually be able to sense it right when it happens and invoke this sense of peace and calm and serenity over those individuals so that they are open to compromise and to solution. And that is the perfect analogy for who you are. So ever since birth, you were given these traits to develop to create this archetype in your life. Some of them are being kind and generous and supportive. So by the way, these are traits that we throw out a lot that is in our common vocabulary, but are actually quite rare in people. And in our society, by the way, as a 2 life path, you might equate your archetype, you might equate your skills with failure. Let me explain that. So if your superpower is being supportive, being the power behind the throne, and yet you're in a society where we're taught that ambition and being number one and being goal-oriented and acquiring all of this power is the ultimate goal. It's the ultimate sign of our worth. It can be a very big conflict for you as a life path number 2. But you absolutely need to listen to the rest of the video because you'll learn how powerful this archetype is for the world as a whole and also for your success. So another trait that you have, in addition to being supportive, being a sidekick, being the power behind the throne, is being incredibly diplomatic. And so in fact, it's actually uncanny when you do politicians' numbers. A lot of these world-level politicians have the number 2 in predominant powerful places in their life purpose codes. So being diplomatic basically means you have this amazing smoothness and skill in dealing with people. And not just dealing with people, but in the ability to make them feel a sense of camaraderie and togetherness and union with you so that both their needs are met, but also the needs of the whole. Pretty amazing stuff. Another thing that's really interesting about the life path too is because you're a peacemaker, you seek out peace in different avenues. And so sometimes this can show up in the beauty and fashion industry. I've had a lot of clients that are life path 2s there. It's about developing a sense of beauty on the outside to invoke the feeling of peace on the inside. And there can also be music and rhythm as an innate aspect, something that you seek out to create that sense of peace and to basically kind of put everybody in a spell of just complete ease and grace. Okay, let's get into the potent stuff about the 2 life path. Let's get into the blessing and the curse. So the blessing and the curse of being the 2 life path is all around sensitivity. So since you were born, you were given this amazing microphone, the most powerful honed microphone in the universe, so that you could sense a sound from 20 miles away, right? You can hear an ant crawling on the floor. I mean, obviously we're talking about this metaphorically, but you get the idea. So the curse of this sensitivity is that if you were born into an environment, maybe into a family sphere that didn't understand the number 2, that didn't honor it, then that could feel like a complete overwhelm. You might experience intense anxiety, nervous tension, health problems over and over again, because being a 2 life path requires the ability to be trained in utilizing sensitivity as a superpower rather than a weakness. So the ultimate lesson for you is realizing that when you are drawn to conflict, which as a 2 life path you always are, you're drawn to conflict, you find yourself in the fray, in the middle of the war, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's out in the world, in the workplace. The reason why you show up there is because your peacemaker life path is kicking into gear. And you need to use your microphone, you need to use your sensitivity and direct it. Direct it into areas that are solution-oriented and constructive. That is the ultimate key. Now, the last thing I want to tell you guys that's so important is how important this mission is. Again, in a society where we value these other things like power, like arts, like freedom, these other things, the 2 can sometimes feel left out. But the 2 archetype of the peacemaker is what prevents nuclear war from happening, really, on the world level. The 2 life path, or the 2 archetype, is what prevents world level conflict from being instigated every single day. So if you can start to embody this life path now in your family, in your workplace, in your everyday life, believe me, it is absolutely needed. One of the things that numerology teaches that I've seen over and over again is that a desire and a nature within you, the purpose within you, would not have been seated here if it wasn't needed for the harmony of the whole. So please step up to this mission. Please honor who you really are with all of your intuition, your receptivity, and your sensitivity, and move forward developing peace, beauty, and harmony in all that you do. If you have any other questions about being a 2 life path in terms of relationships, health, career, finances, please comment below and let me know. And I also have a link to my Facebook fan page if you guys want to check it out. We can have a conversation about it over there as well. I will talk with you guys later. Have a great day ahead.